Okay, got a 1984 caramel pop top, and it's got a broken corner stake up here in the window, so we're just going to replace it. And the first process is to take off this protector shade, which is undoing these pieces here and lifting it up. And the protector shade, once those are out of there, it actually slides off. So we'll do that process and come back. Okay, when I was talking about the brackets, if the brackets are still all intact and they've got the locking tab on the back, then under the two screws on the bottom, and then once they're both loose at each end, then just slide the unit out, just tilt it, and just slides back. Next part. Okay, protector shade is off. Our next part here is we want to undo or drill out the ends of these shells here, just the inside, the one that's been belled over. And this is the size is a 4/6, so it's a 4/6 rivet shell. Okay, you don't, well, we'll go through the process how we fix it up later on, but it's a 4/6 rivet shell. Do both of those out, and the next bit after that is to undo the locks internally on the inside. And also up here is the end plug. There's a little plastic piece here that just gets knocked out. So we'll knock that out, drill those pieces there out, eat both sides, and then we'll do and pull this rivet out, or rivet shell, and undo the locks inside, and then we'll go to the next part where we slide the actual blade off the van, off the window. Okay, we're just going to drill it out. You don't have to go full at a gate, just gently take the end off. You just want to take that little bit of the end off. Okay, we've taken off undone the inside locks, and that's taken the pressure off the actual this section here, because it's got a little arm that's on the link box on the window control box inside. The arm on that is actually sitting on here. This is the actual shaft that it sits on. So we're just going to pull that out. Wiggle, beautiful, out. Same as done to both sides for the next step. With the aid of another person, they need to actually pull the window out gently, and in turn they've got to keep it straight so you don't break the glass. And we're opening it up so we can actually get our flat blade screwdriver into this end plug in here and actually tap it out. So we'll go to the next bit and we'll tap it out. Okay, if you're finding it really difficult to knock this thing out, keep going. I mean, this van was whatever, what we say, 1987 or something, and we're 24, so talking 24, 13, 37, so 37 years that thing's been in there. So yeah, it's a little bit hard, and it's just tapping out, tapping back, tapping out, tapping back, and finally starts to work out and start to come out. Just a side note that the end plug here, it has a little catch in it, which when these windows are made in production, this actual blade is actually lifted in the up position in the actual window, and then the actual end plug is tapped in, because this keeper here, it actually locks in when the window's closed. It's actually locked in behind a recess in the aluminium extrusion that houses the seal. So go to the next bit. I'm just going to tap that out. I've got it most of the way, and just gentle taps. There it is. There's the end plug, and this is really grungy and crappy, and we have got a new one. And we did spray some WD-40 or CRC onto the actual this piece, just to lubricate it up a bit, because as I said, it's a lot of years of gunk from this thing just sitting there. I say next portion here is we've got the blade out, and in turn we're undoing the screws that are on the non-broken corner stake. We've undone the ones up here on the other end. Now what happens is this actual top rail is going to be tapped off, and then we'll install the new corner stake into this one here and put it back in. Now, just a side note, make sure you don't lose the screws that come out of the corner stakes, because they're a special length. If you put in one a bit longer, as it goes through the corner stake, it'll crack the glass. Okay. Now this is the corner stake. This is the new one, or replacement. This is the original, And these ones here, the more I look at this window now, pretty sure this was actually made in Melbourne. The extrusions could have come from the original company being Myers Taylor / Hunter Douglas in Brisbane, in Geebung, because they sold the business to Bowater / Caraparts a long time ago, and in turn they only ever made mill finish windows, and this is a dark bronze anodised window, and they were only done in Melbourne and in later years. So anyway, but they're that's an original. That's the current version, and I looked at this and thought that's the only version I've ever seen. I can't remember seeing this one here. So production here in Melbourne. It was interesting. This was the one I remember. So this probably would have been stock that came from Brisbane. Okay, to get the when you've got the rivet, you want to get the actual shell. So just drill a hole in a bit of timber. This one's a 4mm or so hole. Just drop the actual shell in, and then just give it a tap, and in turn, there you go, you've got your shell, which you're going to use afterwards for your axles in the link box. Just another tip that while you've got your window out, just make sure your drain holes in your control boxes, which is down the bottom here, there's a tiny little hole. Just make sure they're clear of any debris and crap, so that if any water gets into your control box, that in turn it can actually come out the actual weep holes. And what's on this particular van here, we cleaned all the track out. This van's on a bit of a rake. It's that early. When these windows were initially designed, they were designed for dead flat front vans. No angle rake at all like this one has. I mean, even the later series of vans that had a huge rake, there was a problem as far as that the back lip became lower than what the front lip was, so water would actually just pour through. So in turn then the caravan industry decided to make vans to a certain angle, or no greater than a certain angle, so water didn't come through here and up through the back. Just a tip. Okay, we've slid the blade back in. Now next bit here is to pull the window up, and in turn we're going to pull the link arms, put the link arms inside the link box, and then put the rivet shells through, and then we'll go the next step. Now I've put the arms inside the link box and dropped the actual rivet shell in. Next bit here is we're going to bell over the actual end here so that this rivet stays in, because you don't use it like a normal rivet gun, because you don't want to mess all this up here, because this becomes an actual axle, so you don't want to have it distorted. You only want to distort the end piece to stop this rivet coming out, so the rivet shell coming out. Let's go to the next step. With the rivet shell, the idea is to bell this end out to stop it coming over. So we've got the actual mandrel that we tapped out before, and we've cut it down to size. And in turn, you know, it's probably about whatever, 10mm, 12mm. We're going to place that back into the actual shell on the other side, so it sits in there, and then we're going to squeeze it together and push the head into the actual here, and this will bell this piece out, and that should stop this rivet shell coming out. So we'll go to the next step. Okay, done the end. It's like the end of the mandrel has been just chucked in a little bit, so it's tight in there. I know that in the production of these they've got a special pair of pliers that grabs it and it actually bells the end out, just bells it over a little bit. But anyway, that's going to do for this job. Okay, now the blade's back in. We're just going to tap back in the new end plug. So we're going to tap this one back into place, and as I said, it just goes into the hole here and just gets tapped down until the end is dead flush with the aluminium here. Okay, blade's back in. Just going to put the protector shade on, and she'll be a job done, job finished. That's it, job's all done. Protector shade is back on, and corner stake been repaired. Like they say, job's a good 'un.